So in today's video, we're going to talk about what PFF ranks the Detroit Lions heading into the 2023 NFL season. Now, they did give high praises for Amon-Ra St. Brown, did receive a 90.4 receiving grade, did take a step up from a year ago. So, they gave us a little bit of praise, but then they gave us the mention of the unknowns for the tight end room. Shane Zylstra, Brock Wright, James Mitchell, Sam Laporta, they're all kind of really unknown. Where, last year to start the year, you had a TJ Hawkinson, a known player. And yeah, we are having the draft hype of Sam Laporta. He could be the next starter and, the day one guy. But, he's still unproven. And I understand where the PFF is going with that. Obviously, you're unproven until you're proven. So, until we see him week one, things of that nature, obviously, the grades and stuff like that will rise and lower and things like that. But then we got, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, who will be suspended for 6 games, Marvin Jones Jr., Josh Reynolds. They kind of, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, don't have a lot of faith in Marvin Jones Jr. and Josh Reynolds. Obviously, it's PFF. They hate the Detroit Lions, and hey, the feeling is 100% mutual. But, that also goes into the factor, because they're factoring with the receiving core, tight ends, wide receivers, and running backs. So, they don't have a lot of faith to start the year with Amon-Ra St. Brown and then helping him, Marvin Jones Jr., who is aging a little bit, and Josh Reynolds, who obviously is creeping up to 30 years old as well. But then you have, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, Gibbs led the Alabama Crimson Tide a year ago in receiving in 2022. And then obviously we all know David Montgomery. We used to have to play him twice a year with the Chicago Bears. Luckily, Brad Helm says, no, we're done playing against him. We're going to play with him and sign him this offseason. But there's a lot of unknowns. Now, PFF did grade the Detroit Lions 23rd out of 32 teams. So they did rank us in the bottom half. And I understand it, but then it kind of irritates me a little bit because it's like, well, it's PFF for first and foremost. I can't stand PFF because they always like to bash the Detroit Lions. But I understand it where it's like, okay, well, who's going to step up with with Jameson Williams out for 6 games? Who's going to step up in the tight end room? Who's going to step up in the run game, as far as receiving goes? Now, obviously, us Detroit Lion fans know who's going to step up and who's not. Obviously, we follow the team a little bit more heavily than, say, the PFFs and talking heads of the worlds. Obviously, I can't stand talking heads, but that's another video for another time. But Jahmyr Gibbs obviously will be our receiving threat. He could still get out there and get loose and, run with the ball and things like that, as well as David Montgomery. And David Montgomery, a lot of people don't realize that he can receive as well. Jameson Williams obviously will be gone for 6 games, but yeah, he has a lot of drop passes in the offseason. Okay, who cares? It's the offseason. That's where I want you to drop the passes and make mistakes in practice, so when it comes to the game and you are on the field, you don't make the same mistake twice and things of that nature. So, we all know, hey, what happened to Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase? Oh, Jamar Chase, his rookie season, couldn't catch a pass, blah, blah, blah. He sucks. It was a reach. They should have took Penei Sewell, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then he turned around and did not drop a single pass almost all year. He might have had 1 or 2 drops, but it was few, far, and in between, and marched their team all the way to a Super Bowl appearance. So I'm not worried about Jameson Williams' drop passes in the offseason. Let me see it week 7 when he returns. Let me see what he does when he returns. And I think we have enough as a receiving core to not only still put ourselves in the elite category to really put pressure on opposing defenses. And that's the most important part, is putting pressure on opposing defenses, so they got to play man up. You know, you can't double team us. You can't double team a Marvin Jones. You can't double team a Josh Reynolds. You can't double team an Amon-Ra St. Brown, because guess what? You got a Sam Laporta now open, James Mitchell now open, Brock Wright open, who had 3 touchdowns in a single game, a Shane Zylstra, who also had a 3-touchdown game in a single game. You know, and then you got David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. So I don't understand a little bit of where PFF gets their knowledge from, but it's not watching our Detroit Lions. That's first and foremost. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What your thoughts on PFF giving us a 23 out of 32 ranking in our receiving core? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you okay with it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. But first, y'all already know what to do. We are on the road to growing this community. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, because grit don't quit, one pride, baby. Peace. Hey, put some respect on the Detroit Lions, baby.